We are live, I think. Let's see. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Let's see. I think we should be good. Just checking something. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. All right. Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Things should be looking good now. It's nice low key because my room is way cooler than it was. Or maybe I'll open the window even actually. Yeah. Okay. QSS Editorium says yes, we can hear you. Beautiful. Just a second. Sana says lol hi. Hello Sana. I don't know what the lol was for, but okay, I'm gonna give people a few minutes to join and then we're gonna get cooking, guys. I know we've been very delayed. I know tonight's not really run to schedule. Let's see. Any questions? A couple of people asking what paper this is. I'm pretty sure this one's a November 2021 paper. Oliver G says, when are you starting? Guys, I'm going to give people just like 2 minutes to join. Then we're going to get going. Because I know there's been a few people waiting. Including you, Hassan. Okay, starting in 2 minutes, let's say. I'm going to write it on the screen. Actually, no, we're going to start at 29 past. Starting at 29 past. Okay, guys, any questions, let me know. Welcome to everybody who was in the previous session as well. Especially useful if you did the foundation one. It'll be especially useful because the first just over a third of this paper is going to be foundation as well, because there's that overlap section. To anybody who doesn't know what that is, basically the second half of the foundation paper is always the first half of the higher paper. Hassan says, haha, I was refreshing TikTok, but checked here luckily. Very nice. Alicia says, what year? November 2021 this paper is, I believe. Okay. Augusty said, do you do AQA papers? So I used to, but to be honest, AQA are a bit stricter on the copyright than Edexcel. So the only reason I've been doing Edexcel recently is because I don't want any flags. If you go on my channel though, and if you go on the historic lives, kind of under the live tab on the channel page, you'll be able to see a bunch of AQA ones that I've done before. Okay. Couple of people asking, do you have any tips for resitting GCSEs, please? Guys, if you're resitting, my advice would be this. You now have 2 weeks until paper one. The most important thing you can do between now and paper one is to go all in. If you're doing regular, or if you're doing your actual GCSEs, if it's first time round, then you're going to have a bunch of different subjects to manage. You're going to be doing some English revision, science, maths, all different subjects. So it's a little bit more complicated. But if you're resitting, probably you've only got this one exam. Now what that means is that you have an opportunity over the next 2 weeks to really go all in and make a crazy amount of progress in a relatively short period of time. You could be working at a grade 3 now and needing a grade 5. You could be working at a grade 3 and needing a grade 6. Guys, in 2 weeks, all of that is doable if you go all in. Like I say, if you have all your different subjects to balance, a little bit more challenging, a little bit more prioritization required. But yeah, my advice if you're resitting would be to go all in. Kian Lawyer said, I tried doom scroll on your YouTube shorts. Well, guys, I need to stop saying the words because I'm sure it flags it in the algorithm and stops showing. Sona said, I'm resitting. Very nice. Best of luck. Quite a few people asking about the Live Academy and the discount code. This discount code is actually only valid for 48 hours, I think it's set up for. So it's going to be the best way to sign up now. Quite a few people are waiting, I think, until May 14th to or May 12th to get it between then and the end of exams, what I would say, guys, is you're better off signing up now with the discount code, securing that 25% off. Sorry, a fly just came in. Securing that 25% off, and then it's going to be £30 total between now and the end of exams. That's what I would say to that. Okay, guys, it's 29 past. Thank you, Kadzi. Guys, let's have a look. Let's get cooking. Question number 1. It says work out 3.67 times by 4.2. So for anybody who's new, welcome to the community. The format is pretty simple. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to go through each of the questions, and then I'm going to explain how to do it. The longer the questions generally, the more time I'm going to give you. If you can, really try to do it yourself. That's how you're going to get the most out of this. And even if you don't have pen and paper with you, if you're on the bus or lying in bed or sitting on the sofa, I don't know, especially I'm looking at the gang over on the TikTok, at least please think about how you would do it. That's how you're going to get the most out of this. That's really how you're going to get the most out of this. Okay, question 1A. This is very classic of the start of an EdXL paper. It says work out 3.67 times by 4.2. If you've got the answer, drop it in the chat for me, but only drop it in once or twice. Don't spam the chat. Anybody who's continuously spamming on the chat will get muted. Work out 3.67 times by 4.2. I'm going to give you guys about 1 minute to do this. Any questions, let me know. Leia spam account said 367 times by 42, then divide it by 1000. You are exactly correct. Well done, Leia. Well done. Okay, quite a few answers going in the chat. We're going to keep the pace high this evening, so I am going to go through this now. Work out 3.67 times by 4.2. Whenever it comes, guys, to multiplying one decimal by another, the best way to do it is going to be to start off by removing all of the decimal places, then to do the multiplication, and then to put those decimal places back in. So we're going to start off by writing this as 367 times by 42. So all that we've done is removed the decimal places, 2 from the 3.67 and 1 from the 4.2. Now we're going to do our column multiplication. So we're going to do 2 times by 7 is going to be 14. 2 times by 6 is going to be 12, but we're going to write in a 0 because the 6 is 1 column across. 2 times by 3 is 6, but we're going to write in 2 zeros because the 3 is 2 columns across. Next up, we're going to write in a 0 because the 4 is a column across. We're going to do 4 times by 7 is 28. Next step, write in 2 zeros because the 4 is a column across and the 6 is as well. 6 times by 4 is 24. Finally, we're going to write in 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do our 3 times by 4. 3 times by 4 is 12, guys. Next step, what are we going to do? We're going to add all of our numbers together. 4 plus a bunch of zeros is going to be 4. 8 plus 2 plus 1 is going to be 11. Write in the 1, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 6 is going to be 8, plus another 2 is going to be 10, plus another 4 is going to be 14. Write in the 4, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 5, and then we have our 1, giving us 15,414. Final step here, guys, because we removed those decimal places, now we're going to need to put them back in. How many did we remove? We removed 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So we're going to put 3 back in. We're going to have 15.414 as our answer there, guys. What did we do? We removed the decimal places. We did the multiplication, and then we put those decimal places back in. Part B. Nicely done if you got part A. This one says work out 59.84 divided by 1.6. Well done, Thomas. Well done, Lily. Well done, hopefully Hassan. Well done, Yorkshire Dad in the chat. Come on. Lots of the regulars. Charlotte 26. Beautiful to have you on. Good to see you. Good to see you. Jelly Donut said 3 marks is a lot. No, not really, to be honest. Not really. There was quite a lot involved in that question. We had to know to do the initial multiplication. We had to do the multiplication of the values correctly. But then we also had to put those decimal points back in, or decimal places back in. Yeah, that was quite a lot to do. Part B then. Part B. This time we're dividing one decimal by another. How are we going to do this one? Just giving you guys 30 more seconds for this. 30 more seconds, and then we're going to go through it. Nicely done, Hassan. Good to see. Quite a few people thinking this one might be 37.4. Some people saying 0.374. Guys, let's have a look. I'm going to go through this one now. We're going to keep the pace nice and high this evening. So, step number 1. When it comes to dividing one decimal by another, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by removing the decimal places from both of the numbers, or actually one of the numbers, the number we're dividing by. And we're going to do that by multiplying both of our numbers by a power of 10. So, because 1.6 has one number after that decimal point, we're going to have to times it by 10 to remove one decimal place. So we're going to do the same to the 59.84. It's going to give us 598.4 divided by 16. So we multiply both of our values by 10. Now, because we multiplied the number we're dividing and the number we're dividing by, those two actually cancel each other out. So it doesn't change the value of what we get. Next step, we need to divide 598.4 by 16. Now, there's a couple of different ways to do this. You could go straight in and do the division, but what I would recommend is instead of dividing by 16, we're going to do divide by 4 and divide by 4. This is that 2-layer bus stop method. So we're going to start off by doing 598 divided by 4. So 598.4 divided by 4. We're going to do 4s into 5 is going to be 1, remainder 1. 4s into 19 is going to be 4, remainder 3. 4s into 38 is going to be 9, remainder 2. We're going to write our decimal point up at the top. And 4s into 24 is going to be 6. Next step, we're going to do what we got divided by 4. So 149.6 divided by 4. We split that 16 into 4 times by 4. Dividing by 16 is the same as dividing by 4 and dividing by 4 again. 4s into 1 is going to be 0, remainder 1. 4s into 14 is going to be 3, remainder 2. 4s into 29, guys, is going to be 7, remainder 1. And then 4s into 16 is going to be 4, giving us as our answer 37.4. These are pretty annoying questions at the start of the paper, but they are quite textbook. They do come up a lot. So if you were not sure how to multiply and divide those decimals, make sure you revise that one. Moving on to question number 2. Guys, I'm just going to go through this one because I know a lot of you don't have the paper printed out, making this one pretty awkward. Just give me 1 secundo. Okay, let's have a look at the question. The question says, the universal set, which just means all of the numbers in this question, is the even numbers less than 19. So what I would do, guys, is I would actually write these out. So I would convert this into a list of numbers. All of the even numbers less than 19, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Now, the question says that A contains 6, 12, and 18. B contains 2, 6, 14, and 18. And we need to complete this Venn diagram. So, starting off with the number 2. Is it in A? No, it's not. Is it in B? Yes, it is. Next up with the number 4. Is it in A? No, it's not. Is it in B? No, it's not. So it's going to go on the outside. Next up, the number 6. Is it in A? Yes. Is it in B? Yes. So it's in both of them. We're going to put a 6 in the middle there. Next up, 8. Is it in A? No, it's not. Is it in B? No, it's not. So it's going to be on the outside. Number 10. Is it in A? No. Is it in B? No. On the outside again. Number 12. Is it in A? Yes, it is. Is it in B? No, it's not. So it's going to go on the so it's going to go in the just A section. Next up, the number 14. Is it in A? No. Is it in B? Yes. So it's going to go in the B only section. Next up, guys, the number 16. It's not in A or B. The number 18 coming up finally. We can see that this one is in A and it's also in B. So we can write it in the overlap section there. If you got that one, guys, superb work. Pretty tricky. Actually, no, not that tricky, to be honest. I'm in the habit of saying tricky. That was not too bad, to be honest. If you weren't sure how to do that one, make sure you do a bit of revision of Venn diagrams. This one, with enough revision, is going to be pretty good. Okay, question number 3. Work out 4 and a fifth, subtract 2 and 2/3. Give your answer as a mixed number. Guys, I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one, and then we are going to go through it. For anybody who hasn't heard, I'm running a little kind of promotion code at the moment, 25% off the new live academy. If you've not heard about that, yeah, I'm going to talk about it at the end of the session. That code is only going to be valid for the next 48 hours. So it's normally £20 a month. and that code will get you it for £15 a month. So if you kind of bought it tomorrow or today or whatever, then it would only be 2 months until the end of GCSEs. So it would basically work out that full membership until the end of GCSEs would come in at £30, and that would be for 26 live lessons. So yeah, it's if I do say so myself, a bit of a bargain. To anybody wondering what that is, it's basically a bunch more live streams, but I'll mention that at the end. Okay, let's have a look. Emma Kelly says 23 over 15. Okay, can we convert that one into a mixed number, Emma? Let's see. And the group sizes are way smaller, so it's going to be like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Okay, question number 3. Work out 4 and a fifth, subtract 2 and 2/3. Guys, when we subtract one mixed number from another, what we need to do is we need to firstly write them as improper fractions, then rewrite them over a common denominator, do the subtraction, and then convert it back. So what are we going to do? How can we do this? Well, how do we write 4 and a fifth as a mixed number? We're going to start off by doing our 4 times by our 5. It's going to give us 20. And then we're going to add the 1 on the top. So we're going to have 21 over 5. Subtract 2 and 2/3. Again, we're going to do the 2 times by the 3 is going to give us 6. Then we're going to add that 2 on the top. It's going to give us 8. So we're going to be doing 21 over 5 subtract 8 over 3. Next step, guys, to do this, we're going to need to write them over a common denominator. We need to find a number that 5 and 3 both go into. We can actually multiply them together to get 15. So we can write these both over 15. How do we get from 5 to 15? We times it by 3. So we're going to do the same to that number on the top. 21 times by 3 is going to be 63. How do we get from 3 to 15? We times it by 5, so we're going to do the same to the top. 8 times by 5 is going to be 40. Next up, we're going to do our subtraction of our numerators. 63 subtract 40, guys, is going to give us 23. So we can write this as 23 over 15. Now, converting this one into a mixed number, how many times does 15 go into 23? Well, it actually goes in once. And what's the remainder going to be? The remainder is going to be 8. The reason is because 23 is 8 bigger than 15. So we're going to have 1 and 8/15 as our answer to that one. Guys, if you got that one, beautiful work. Nicely done. Moving on to question number 4. 4 marks? Ooh, 4 marks already. Come on, 4 marks for question number 4. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time for this, and then I am going to go through it. Guys, I have a quick question as well for the regulars on here. Does the camera look different today? Focus on the question primarily, that's way more important. But does the camera / lighting look any different today? Or is it no different at all? Probably you're going to say there's no difference. Lol Lexi says, yeah, 4 marks is a long day. Yeah, trust me. That is that is the case. Itonedit said, no, it looks the same. Does it look the same, guys? Let me know. Or does it look different? I feel like it looks different, but that can just be in my own mind. Fanta said it looks worse, to be fair. Yeah, okay, what's the difference, Fanta? What's the difference? Iton said it looks the same. I'm using different lights today. Low Lexi said, yeah, it looks the same. Okay. It looks blurry. Is that I look the screen shouldn't look blurry. Ollie said it looks blurry. Is that the camera, guys, or the text? The text shouldn't look blurry. The text should be exactly the same. Let me know, and then I'm going to go through this question. Oh, the camera looks a bit blurry. Oh, you look blurry. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Good to know. Good to know, actually. Good to know. Okay. Let's have a look at this one then, guys. Let's have a look at this one. Question number 4. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for me, and we will go through it. Hassan said, same looks good to me. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. It is not the same, says Hamza. Okay, yeah. Okay, most people on the That's interesting. On the YouTube, people are saying it looks the same. Okay, KT's ready. BR's ready. Guys, let's have a look at this one. What are we gonna do? Question number 4. It says, at the end of 2017, the value of Tamara's house was 220,000 and the value of Raheem's house was 160,000. At the end of 2019, the value of Tamara's house had decreased by 20%. The value of Raheem's house had increased by 30%. At the end of 2019, whose house had the greater value? Guys, this is an absolutely classic question. Percentage change straight from the textbook. How are we going to do it? Well, let's start off by working out Tamara's house value. So let's start off with Tamara. So in Tamara's case, it decreased by 20%. So we're going to need to find 20% of 220,000 and then take that away. How do we find 20%? Well, we're going to start off by finding 10%. So 10% of 220,000 pounds. To find 10%, we're going to divide it by 10. So that is going to give us 22,000. We can think of that as just knocking a 0 off the end. Now finding 20%, we're going to double that. So 20% of 220,000 is going to be equal to 44,000. 44,000. Fantastic work if you got that one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract that from the 220,000. So 220,000 subtract 44,000. Drop your answer in the chat for me, guys. What's this one going to be? 220k minus 44k. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? A couple of people are asking if this is higher or foundation. This one is higher, guys. Okay, good job, you. Good job, Funny Moments. Fortnite. Yep, absolutely right. 160,000. Sorry, 176,000. Good work, guys. I will just write this here. So 176,000. Okay, brilliant. Let's go ahead and work out Raheem's house then. Raheem's house. Man like Raheem, how much is his house worth? So it increases by 30%. So again, we're going to find 10%. So 10% of 160,000. And again, to do that, we're going to divide by 10. That's going to give us 16,000. We just knock a 0 off the end there. 30% then, we're going to times that by 3. So 30% of 160,000 is going to be equal to this number. I should have written times 2 in there. So this one times by 3. 16,000 times by 3, guys, is going to be 48,000. Final step, let's add that on then. So we can do 160k or 160,000 plus our 48,000. And this, guys, is going to be 208,000. So we can see that actually Raheem, after his house goes up in value, is worth more than Tamara's after it goes down in value. And actually, to be honest, guys, it's quite a bit more. It's quite a bit more. And actually, just a little important point on this one. So if you were doing your exam and you got these two values, if you're doing your exam and you got 176,000 and 208,000, you might think you're wrong. You might think you're wrong. And you might think you're wrong because those numbers are actually really far away from each other. You might have been expecting to get one of the houses being worth slightly more than the other house. Now, whilst this is normally going to be the case, sometimes the numbers in the question don't work out the way we expect them to. So the key thing there, guys, is to know that if the numbers don't seem quite right, don't let that make you think you're wrong, unless they seem really wrong, right? If it comes out as like £1 million, then probably it's going to be wrong. But if they're at least, fairly realistic, don't let that put you off. Don't let that put you off. Okay, question number 5. Question number 5, a good question here. How many marks up for grabs in this one? 3 marks. 3 marks up for grabs. I'm going to turn these lights down a little bit. Maybe that's actually better now, the lighting. Maybe that's better. Maybe it's still, I don't know. Okay. Below said that's much better. Oh, interesting. Is that better, guys? Is the lighting better now? Or did it make no difference? Hey, Sona, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Nabia says, what tier is this? This one is a higher tier paper, higher tier. So it's the November 2021 paper 1. Lol, Lexi said, lock in Hamza. Yeah, Hamza, less of that. No personal detail sharing, guys. Otherwise, you'll get muted from the chat. Otherwise, you'll get muted. We need to keep it maths focused. Bilal, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. We're going to go through it. QS says, Editorium says. Yeah, lol, I'm crying. Okay. Z said, do you have predicted papers? Nope, I don't have predicted papers, guys. I don't know if you saw my post, but I personally don't recommend buying predicted papers, especially when people are saying, you know, you have to buy these papers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, few people dropping ready in the chat. Let's have a look at this one. Let's have a look at this one. The question says, just give me 1 second. Yeah, question number 5. Rosie, Matilda, and Ibrahim collect stickers. The number of stickers that Rosie has to Matilda to Ibrahim is 4 to 7 to 15. Ibrahim has 24 more stickers than Matilda. Ibrahim has more stickers than Rosie. How many more? How many more? How can we do this? Well, let's firstly write out our ratio in the simplest way possible. So the ratio of Rosie to Matilda to Ibrahim is 4 to 7 to 15. We're told that Ibrahim has 24 more stickers than Matilda. Whenever we're working with ratio problems like this, guys, the best way to do it is going to be to work out how many of the items per part in the ratio. In other words, how many stickers per part do we have? Well, how many parts do we have in this ratio? Or how many parts do we have difference, I should say, between Matilda and Ibrahim? How many parts difference between Matilda and Ibrahim? Well, Ibrahim is 15 parts and Matilda is 7 parts. So we can do 15, subtract 7, which is going to be 8. And we know that this 8 parts is equal to a difference of 24 stickers. So each part is 8 parts is 24 stickers. What that means is that 1 part is going to be equal to 24 divided by 8 stickers, which is 3 stickers. So 1 part is equal to 3 stickers. Now to work out how many more Ibrahim has than Rosie, all that we have to do is work out the number of parts more and then multiply that by the 3 stickers per part. So what's the difference in parts? It's going to be 15 subtract 4 between Ibrahim and Rosie is 11 parts difference. 11 parts is how many stickers? 11 parts is going to be 33 stickers. Guys, if you got that one, amazing work. Well done, Alex. Well done, Somto. Well done, Khalid. Yeah, fantastic work, guys. Fantastic work. Yeah, guys, please don't spam the chat, otherwise you're going to get muted. Okay, next up, question number 6. Question number 6, this one, 3 marks up for grabs. This is a pretty nice question, I would say. Classic exam question. Comes up a lot in Edexcel and AQA. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Thank you very much, NJ. Good to have you on. NJ, yeah, sorry. Please resend it again. Please resend it again. Actually, what I can just say it now. I have no availability until after the end of GCSEs. So until after June 11th, I think the last exam is. But then afterwards, I'll be able to help you out. That's the long and short of it. But if you send me an email, I'll get back to you, mate. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Chloe says, hey, good to have you on, Chloe. Always a pleasure. A lot of people asking if this is higher or foundation. This is a higher paper that we're doing. Okay, question number 6. Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look. Just 1 second. Yep, let's go through it. So, question number 6 says, the diagram shows a prism. The cross-section of the prism is a right-angled triangle, okay? The base of the triangle has a length of 5. The prism has a length of 25. The prism has a volume of 750. Work out the height of the prism. Work out the height of the prism. Guys, what are we going to do? Well, we know how to work out the volume of a prism. How to work out the volume of a prism. We're going to do the area of the face on the end multiplied by the length, and that's going to be equal to the volume. So in this case, what can we say? Well, we can say that the area of the end face times by 25 is going to be equal to 750. Well, how can we write the area of the end face? How do we work out the area of a triangle? We do a half times by the base times by the height. In other words, what do we know? Well, we know that the volume is going to be equal to a half times by the base times by the height times by, in this case, they call it the, what do they call it? The length. The length. The volume is 750, so 750 equals a half times by the base of 5 times by the height times by the length of 25. Okay, and did I miss something? Yeah, I missed the base of 5, didn't I? Hopefully that makes things a little bit clearer, guys. Hopefully that makes things a little bit clearer. Where can we go from there? Well, now we have an equation which we can rearrange and solve for h, our height. We can simplify this. How are we going to simplify it? Well, I'm going to move the half to the left-hand side by multiplying both sides of the equation by 2. And I'm also going to do the 5 times by the 25. So I'm going to times both sides by 2. So I'm going to get 1,500 on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, 5 times by 25 is going to be 125h. Now what we can do is we can divide both sides by 125 to get the value of h. So we're going to have h is equal to 1,500 over 125. Now the question is, how do we calculate this? There's different ways of thinking about this, guys. I would say the best way to do it is to just simplify that fraction. Simplify that fraction. So we can start by dividing the top and bottom both by 5. We're going to get 300 over 25. We can divide top and bottom both by 5 again. We're going to get 60 over 5. And now we can do 60 divided by 5. That is going to be 12. So guys, our answer to this one is going to be 12. If you got that one, absolutely fantastic work. Pretty tricky question. Moving on to our next one. 4 marks up for grabs again. More shapes questions. More shapes questions. I'm going to give you a minute to think about this, and then we're going to go through it. Please don't spam the chat, guys. Otherwise, you will get muted. There's a few moderators on at the moment. Hey, RZ, that's great to hear. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. How many? Oh, guys, 50 of us over on the YouTube. Should we try and get the channel up to 100? Guys, let's try and do that. Let's try and do that. So if you're currently watching on the TikTok, I am actually live on the channel and the TikTok at the same time. If you come over to the channel, I'll give you a little, let me know in the chat if you do come over, and I'll give you a little shout out. In general, that's what we do. The communities are fantastic on both of the platforms. What I will say is, if you are doing the actual paper, if you're here for like serious revision, YouTube is the place to be. YouTube is the place to be. TikTok is also fantastic and everything, and community over there is amazing as well. But in general, most of the people who are doing it on the YouTube have the paper printed out. They're doing every question, fully. Whereas on the TikTok, I think people are more kind of watching it, chilling on the bus, on the sofa, doing whatever they're doing, maybe in the gym. I actually had someone say the other day they were on the treadmill watching the stream, which was pretty cool. But yeah, let me know if you do come over from the TikTok to the channel, and I'll give you a little shout out. We're up to 52. Maybe we can get that to 100 by the end. Rick and Morty said I came from the TikTok. Welcome, my friend. Anno said I just came over. Welcome, Anno. Hey, good to have you over here. Good to have you over here. AA, that's so good to hear, man. That's so good to hear. Thank you very much. Mohammed says, that's what I'm doing, sir. Awesome. Okay, Miriam said, what channel? The YouTube channel is what I mean. So it's just my GCSE maths. So basically, I'm always live on both at the same time. All of the recordings are uploaded to the channel as well. Okay, guys, let's go through this one then. I've been waffling for a hot minute. Let's see what we can do. Question number 7. Question number 7. It says the diagram shows a cube with edges of length x centimeters and a sphere of radius 3 centimeters. We're given the formula for the surface area of a sphere, told that it's 4 pi r squared, and we're told that the surface area of the cube is equal to the surface area of the sphere. It says show that x is equal to root k pi, where k is an integer. What are we going to do? What we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to work out an expression for the surface area of the cube, an expression for the surface area of the sphere, and we know that they're equal to each other. So we can set these equal to each other and then solve for x. Let's get it done. How do we come up with an expression for the surface area of the cube? Well, the surface area, let's say surface area of the cube, well, each of the faces is going to be equal to x squared because we have a base of x and a height of x as well. So each of the faces is going to have an area of x squared. How many of them do we have? We have 6 of them. So the surface area is going to be 6x squared. Now, what about for the surface area of the sphere? Well, the surface area of the sphere, we're given the formula 4 pi r squared. So we have 4 times by pi times by the radius, which is 3 squared. Next step, what can we do? Well, we can simplify this. 3 squared is 9. 9 times by 4 is 36. So we have 36 pi. Now, where can we go from there? Well, we know that the surface area of the cube is equal to the surface area of the sphere. So we can say 6x squared is equal to 36 pi. Next step, we're going to rearrange this for x. We're going to start off by dividing both sides by 6. We're going to get x squared is equal to 6 pi. Next step, we're going to square root both sides. We're going to get x is equal to the square root of 6 pi. And that is going to be our answer to that one. It's in the form that we need. Root k pi, here k is equal to 6. Guys, superb work. If you got that, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to our next question. There we go. Question number 8. Let's see what we can do. Okay, just a sec. Just a sec. Awesome. Guys, please don't spam the chat. Question number 8. Let's see what we can do. This one says solve x squared is equal to 5x plus 24. Solve x squared is equal to 5x plus 24. Okay, looks like we have some people trying to mess up the stream, spamming the chat full of whatever they can. They're going to get bored very quickly, guys. Don't worry. Also, anybody who's currently watching on the YouTube and wants to be a moderator, let me know in the chat now. Let me know in the chat now. If you've been a regular watching on the channel and you would like to be a moderator, let me know. It seems like we have some people trying to mess the chat up. And, you know, we want to get them out as quickly as possible. Okay, let's see. Who has been a regular? Okay, QSS Editorium. I have added you as a moderator. Let me just have a quick look. I think I have. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Also, to the other people who are asking to be moderators, guys, let me know in the comments of any of my posts after this stream, and I'm going to decide for everybody. I'm going to think about kind of how many people want to be moderators versus who comes regularly and this kind of thing. and I'll decide based on that. I appreciate everybody for offering. Yorkshire Dad, I have also just made you a moderator. Thank you very much. All that's going to do is it's going to mean as soon as people start spamming stuff in the chat, like, can you see this? Actually, guys, can we all please try and find a round of applause emoji for the dude spamming in the chat before we get him muted? It's so funny when people join and try and mess things up. I don't know how people have so many accounts. It's quite impressive, actually. Yeah, guys, that's top work. Oh, come on. Rhyme with a round of applause. Ahmad with the laughing faces. Darcy's got the wave. Okay, guys. Awesome. These guys, I don't know what's actually going on. It's quite impressive how quickly they're making it's either the same person making accounts. It's super interesting, eh? Okay, anyway, let's keep going with the chat. Sorry, guys, we got a bit distracted there. We got some rogues coming in. Let's have a look. Question number 8. Solve. X squared is equal to 5x plus 24. So what we have here, guys, is a classic solving quadratics question. We know that this is a quadratic because of this x squared. What we can do to solve a quadratic is we firstly rearrange it to make it something is equal to 0. In this case, we're going to move the 5x and the 24 both to the left-hand side. And the way that we're going to do it is we're going to subtract 5x from both sides and subtract 24 from both sides. And this is going to be equal to 0. Now what we do is we either solve this by factorizing or using the quadratic formula, or technically we can also do it by completing the square. Here, we're going to factorize. Factorizing in general is going to be the best method. We always try and do that one first. How do we do it? We're going to look for two numbers which multiply to give the number on the end and add to give the number in the middle. We're going to write an x at the front of both of the brackets as well. Two numbers which times to make negative 24 and add to give negative 5. Well, we could have negative 8 and positive 3. Negative 8 times by positive 3 is negative 24. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. So we can write x minus 8 and x plus 3. Next step, how do we get the values of x? Well, all that we need to do is to reverse the values of the signs next to those values. So we're going to reverse the sign of the negative 8. We're going to get x is equal to 8. And we're going to reverse the sign next to the 3. We're going to get x is equal to negative 3. So we have two values for x. One of them is 8, one of them is negative 3. Superb work if you did that one, guys. Because those questions were on the screen for so long, I'm going to go through this one straight away. Okay, question 9a. Write down the value of 7 to the 0. Drop your answer in the chat for me, guys. Let me know. What's it going to be? 9a, drop an answer in the chat. What's it going to be? Tima says 1. Mar says 1. User says 1. Over on the TikTok, no, on the YouTube. Oh, that's sick, man. We're building a proper community, guys, on the YouTube. This is nice now. Okay. Emma Kelly says 1. Isabel Newton says 1. Ismir says 1. Minx Badger says 1. Zama says 1. Jay Jones, man like John Jones in the chat, says 1. Guys, everybody who said 1, absolutely right. Well done. What is the rule here? The rule is that any number to the power of 0 is always going to be 1. Any number to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So 7 to the 0 here is 1. Next up, 9b. Find the value of 3 times by 3 to the 6 times by 3 to the negative 6. Guys, drop your answer in the chat for this one for me. Drop your answer in the chat for this one. I'm going to also... AA, I'm also going to make you a moderator. Thank you very much. Okay. What do we think for this one? Oh, guys, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Hay fever at this time of day? No, please. Okay, guys, people doing well in the chat for this one. Good job, Max. Good job, Loveheart. Good job, Mariam. Suppy. Amazing work. It is going to be 3. Why is it 3? So here, when it comes to simplifying this, we're going to firstly simplify the powers. So we can think of 3 as 3 to the power of 1. When we have a base to a power and we times it by the same base to another power, what do? We add those powers together. So we can start off by doing the 3 to the 6 times the 3 to the negative 6. Well, positive 6 plus negative 6 is 0. So this part turns into 3 to the power of 0, which is actually just 1. So we have 3 to the power of 1 times by 1. 3 to the power of 1 is just 3. Any number to the power of 1 is 3. Sorry, any number to the power of 1 is itself, is what I meant to say. So we have our answer of 3. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. Tricky there, but hopefully that description made sense. Next up, C, find the value of 2 to the negative 4. Guys, I'm just going to very quickly shut the door. Give me 1 second. What do we think for this one? 2 to the negative 4, what's it going to be? They're coming back. They're coming back, the spammers. So impressive. Okay. AMZ says 1 over 16. Justin the Gamer says 1 over 16. What a name that is. Yeah, awesome. Okay, guys, the answer to this, 2 to the negative 4, if you said 1 over 16, you are exactly right. Superb job. How do we do it? Well, what do we do to deal with a negative power? We have to do 1 over whatever that power otherwise would have been. So 2 to the power of negative 4 would be 1 over 2 to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to be 16. So 1 over 16 is our answer. Guys, if you got that one, amazing work. Part D, let's have a look at this one. Let's have a look at this one. Find the value of 27 to the 1 over 3. Guys, drop your answer in the chat and we will see what we can do. What's it going to be? 27 to the 1 over 3. Lynn says 3. Cog says 3. Has says 3. Justin the Gamer says 3. Farheen says 3. Yeah, guys, if you got 3, you're absolutely right. Well done. So the key here is dealing with these fractional powers. How do we deal with a fractional power? Well, guys, what we have to do is we have to do the root of the number on the bottom and raise that to the power of the number on the top. Here we just have a 1 on the top, so it's not actually going to do anything. We just have a 3 on the bottom, so we're going to do the cubed root of 27 to the power of 1. The cube root of 27 is 3. Why? Because 3 times 3 times 3 is going to be 27. Guys, nicely done. Nicely done. Moving on now to our next question. Should we do this one? Yeah, let's go through this one. 3 marks. 3 marks. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Okay, looking at the chat. Guys, to anybody wondering, I'm live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. If you come from the TikTok over to the channel, I'll give you a shout out. Just let me know in the chat. We're going to try and get it past 100 of us today. We have 75 at the moment. Let's see if we can get it past 100. This is going to be sick if we can. In general, just so you guys know the difference between being on TikTok and YouTube, the main difference with being on the YouTube is kind of the chat's kind of more, not formal, but more people are actually doing the paper. So more people are dropping answers in the chat and this kind of thing. And a bunch of other reasons to come over to the YouTube. Mustafa, I didn't see the question. Erica Portale said, I just came from the TikTok. Okay, very cool. Guys, drop ready in the chat when you're ready for question 10 for me and we'll go through it. What's it gonna be? Okay, let's have a look. Question 10, it says the diagram shows a shape made from 6 identical squares. The total area of the shape is 5,406 centimeters squared. We're then asked to find an estimate for the length of one side of each square. Guys, how can we do this? This is a pretty tricky one, I would say. Well, we know that the total area of the entire shape is 5,406. We want to find an estimate for the length of one side. Well, how can we do this? We know that for a square, the base and the height are the same. So we know if we have the area of a square, we can square root it to work out the side lengths. But at the moment, we don't have the area of each of the squares, we have the area of the total shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out the number of squares, or we're just going to count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to divide this number by 6. It does says find an estimate, so we can round 5,406 if we want to 5,400. So we're going to do 5,400 divided by 6. 6 is into 5, goes 0 times remainder 5. 6 is into 54 is going to go 9 times, remainder 0. 6 is into 0 is 0. 6 is into 0 is 0. So we're going to get 900. So what do we know? We know that the area of one square, so area of one square, is equal to 900 centimeters squared. To work out the side length of one square, then we can square root 900. Guys, the square root of 900, I look at the 9, I think, maybe it's going to be 3. But it's not 3 because that's going to be the square root of 9, not 900. Let me try 30. What's 30 times 30? 30 times 30 is 900. So our answer there, guys, is going to be that the side lengths are 30, and they give us the units centimeters. Okay, part B. Is your answer to part A an underestimate or an overestimate? Well, it's going to be an underestimate. It's going to be an underestimate. And the reason is because we rounded that area down. So we said the area was smaller than it actually was. We said the area was smaller than it actually was. Okay, part 11. Let's have a look. Yeah, good question, eh? 4 marks. We're going to do this one, then we're going to do one more, then we're going to call it a day. Then we're going to call it a day. Okay. Are people really coming in and still spamming? This is amazing. Clearly there's somebody trying to sabotage the stream. So let's have a think, guys. Let's have a think. Who might try and sabotage a stream like this? Who might try and sabotage a stream like this? Have a think. Have a think. Don't put it in the chat, but yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. Grace Amelia said, just came from the TikTok I subscribed to. Hey, welcome to the YouTube, Grace. Good to have you. Good to have you. Okay, question 11. It's a tricky one, this. It's a tricky one. Okay, question 11. Let's have a look. It says the diagram shows 2 rectangles A and B. All measurements are in centimeters. The area of rectangle A is equal to the area of rectangle B. Find an expression for Y in terms of W. Classic exam question here, guys. We're going to have to find the area of A, find the area of B, set them equal to each other because we're told that the areas are equal, and then rearrange for Y. Let's get it done. So the area of A is going to be 6 times by 2W plus Y. And the area of B is going to be equal to 7W times by 3Y plus 6. Now we have our equation, which we can rearrange for W. We're going to start off, for Y. We're going to start off by expanding the brackets. We're going to do 6 times 2W is 12W, plus 6 times Y is 6Y. That's going to be equal to 7W times 3Y. We're going to do 7 times 3 is 21. Then we have our WY. And then we can do 7W times by 6 is going to be 42W. Next step, guys, classic exam question, super important one. How do we rearrange this to make Y the subject? Well, we're going to move all of our Y's to one side and all of our other letters to the other side. Or all the terms which don't have Y's in, I should say, to the other side. So we're going to move this 21wy to the left-hand side. And we're going to move this 12w, sorry, to the right-hand side. So we're going to have 6y minus 21wy is equal to 42w subtract 12w. Hopefully this one makes sense so far. Next step, how do we get the y on its own? Well, we can see that we have a 6y and a 21wy. The only way to do this, guys, is going to be to factor out the y. What do we times by y to get 6y? We times it by 6. What do we times by y to get 21wy? We times it by 21w. This is going to be equal to 42w minus 12w. Well, 42w minus 12w is 30w. Now we can divide both sides, I should say, by 6 minus 21w. We're going to get y is equal to 30w over 6 minus 21w. And this, guys, is going to be our answer. Now, technically, if we wanted to, we could simplify. We could divide top and bottom by 3. We're going to get 10w over 2 minus 7w, but we don't have to. It doesn't say to give it in its simplest form. Okay, guys, second to last question there. Now we're going to move on to our final question of the day. We're going to skip the cumulative frequency one, and we're going to skip this one because it's not worth many marks. Whoosh. Let's finish with this one, shall we? The area of the shape is A. Show that A equals this. Should we do this one or should we skip this one? Now, this one will trip a lot of people up. Let's do this one. Okay, question 14, guys. Final question of the day. Let's finish strong. Let's finish strong. Question number 14. Oh, wait, should we skip this one? Question 11. Most people are saying do this one. Okay, guys, everybody spam for me. Everybody spam for me in the chat. Most people are saying skip. Bushra said just came from the TikTok. Hey, Famalam, good to have you on. Man like Ed Coro said, do it if you're a good boy. My guy's got a sense of humor and a half. Okay, some people are saying skip, some people are saying do it. Okay, guys, I'm going to do it and then I'm just going to do one more. We're going to keep everybody happy. I'm going to do it. I'll just go through it now and then we'll do one more. Okay, here is a shape with all its measurements in centimeters. The area of the shape is A. Show that A is equal to 2x squared plus 24x plus 46. So what are we going to do? Well, we are going to divide this shape into a couple of parts. This is called a compound shape or composite shape. It's two shapes put together. We know that to work out the area of a rectangle, we can do base times by height. So we can work out this one by doing the base of x plus 1 times by the height of 4. So 4 times x plus 1. But what about this one? We can see that we don't currently have the height of this rectangle, but we do know that the total height of the shape is x plus 11 and that this is 4. What that means is that this height of the smaller one is going to be the difference between x plus 11 and 4. So we can subtract the 4 from the x plus 11, we're going to get x plus 7. So to work out the area of this one, we can do 2x plus 6 times by x plus 7. Now what we're going to have to do is simply expand these and it should give us this. So we're going to do 2x plus 6 times by x plus 7 plus 4 lots of x plus 1. Expanding these, what are we going to do? We're going to use our FOIL method. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 7 is plus 14x. 6 times x is plus 6x. 6 times 7 is plus 42. 4 times x is plus 4x. 4 times 1 is 4. Collecting our like terms, what are we going to have? We only have one term in x squared is 2x squared. 14x plus 6x is 20x. Plus 4x is 24x. And then we have our plus 42 plus 4 gives plus 46. And we can see that we have in fact shown it. Guys, really good job if you got that one. Really good job if we got that one. And we're going to move on to what is going to be our final question of the day. Yeah, let's make it this one. Let's make it this one. It says, show that 4x plus 3 over 2x plus 3 over 5 can be written in the form ax plus b equals cx. Guys, I think this lighting is actually better, for sure, than it was before. I don't know. It seems, yeah, at least it's a bit less jarring for my eyes, so I don't have bright eyes blaring at me. Okay. QSS Editorium says quadratics be sneaking their way into the agenda. Yes, sir. AA says use night shift. Yeah, the problem is the actual like lights that are lighting me up as opposed to my laptop. AA said, I have a question about completing the square. When you subtract from B, do you subtract A square or A whole square? It gives two different answers. I'm not actually sure what you mean by that question. I'm not actually sure what you mean, to be honest. So typically, let's say it's, you know, actually, I won't go through it now, but maybe phrase the question in a different way and I'll answer it again. LB the first says, came from TikTok, bro. Where you from? I'm so curious. My guess is Sweden. Actually, guys, have a guess in the chat. Have a guess in the chat, and then I'll go through the question. This is probably the most common question I get. Probably the most common question I get is, where are you from? Where do you guys reckon? Some of you will know because I've said it before, but where do you think I'm from? Amaya says British. Rima says Poland. Mohammed says you're Indian or Irish. Ismir says Scotland. Probably from Glasgow. A couple of people saying Norway, Isle of Man, London, Sweden or Norway. Nigerian. Oh man, I would try to do an accent, but I probably can't do that. If not England, then Denmark. Fair enough. QSS says Egyptian. Okay, this didn't go to plan. On the TikTok, Ed Koro says Finland. RP says fully Ghanaian. Deval says, are we revising your life story? This is why you're doing the question, my friend. Yeah, guys, it's actually the UK. Way more boring than you expected. Way more boring. So I do have a bit of an accent. I think the reason is because I've got lots of friends from different countries. So a lot of my close mates are from different countries. So I picked up a bit of a weird mix of different accents, but I'm actually from the UK. I'm from the UK. Okay, guys, let's have a look. Question 15, final question of the day. Let's get it done. Mohammed says, let's get back to work, sir, please. Absolutely, absolutely. Question 15, let's get it done. It says, show that 4x plus 3 over 2x plus 3 over 5 can be written in the form ax plus b over cx, where a, b, and c are all integers. Where a, b, and c are all integers. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to use a little bit of cross multiplication to write them both over the same denominator. So at the moment we have 1 over 2x and 1 over 5. We're going to multiply the 1 on the left by 5 on the top and the bottom. And we're going to multiply the 1 on the right by 2x on the top and the bottom. So multiplying the 1 on the left, we're going to have 5 times by 4x plus 3 over 10x. On the right, we're going to have 3 times by, we're going to times this from top and bottom by 2x. So 3 times by 2x over 10x. Next step, we can expand and simplify the brackets. So we're going to have 5 times 4x is 20x. 5 times 3 is 15 over 10x. Plus 3 times 2x is 6x over 10x. Next step, guys, we're going to simplify this. When we have two fractions over the same number, we can just add the numerators. So on the top, we're going to do 20x plus 6x is 26x. And then we have our plus 15 on the bottom. Everything is going to be over 10x. The question does ask us to give it in its simplest form, I think. Actually doesn't ask it to give us, can be written. Yeah, so that would give us the answer, guys. That would give us the answer, 26x plus 15 over 10x. Oh, it actually is already in its simplest form. Yeah. So, guys, if you got that right, well done. 26x plus 15 over 10x. What we did there was we cross multiplied. Guys, that is where we're going to call it a day today. I do have to head off. The final thing of the day is going to be actually two things. Number one, if you've been for many of these lives, you know the drill. At the end of every session, we throw a little bit of a party. What does a party look like? Guys, we're going to spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we can. We want dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis. This is only going to work if enough people do it. And if they do, it looks sick. Guys, drop your favorite emojis in the chat. Only good vibe emojis though, nothing inappropriate. Val Ely in there with the party emojis, awesome. Reimer's partying, A's partying. MF7 with the balloons. This is the only time where spamming is allowed, guys. Spam, spam away, spam away, spam away. We got Viz partying on the TikTok. Interesting favorite emoji over there. Yeah, guys, this is sick. This is sick. Okay, the party on YouTube is popping, eh? Look at that, man. This is sick. This is sick. Okay, guys, keep it going. Keep flooding it, flooding it, flooding it, flooding it. Guys, superb work. Yorkshire Dad, that is a combo, man. That is a combo. The party is raging. Viz says the TikTok party is dead. Yeah, the TikTok party is not quite what the YouTube party... Whoa, now the party really is going off. Guys, that's wicked. That's wicked. Guys on the TikTok partying as well. I see AJH. I see Viz. I see Angie is dancing. We got Ard partying. But guys, honestly, the YouTube is popping off. The YouTube is popping off. Okay, guys, final part of the party. You know what it is. What we're going to do is... currently about 200 of us. Can everybody please close their eyes? Not only me, hopefully, otherwise I just look like a fool. If everybody can close their eyes, I'll even come a bit closer to the camera. And, that looks like I was about to say like a prayer or something, but if everybody closes their eyes and just take a quick moment to appreciate the work that you're putting in. Even if you did this last session and you're like, I've done that already, I don't need to do it again. Guys, it's super important. It's a difficult period, it's a stressful period, exams on the horizon, bunch of different exams. It's very easy to focus on, you know, the revision and all the work ahead, but it's actually equally as important to take a moment to appreciate the work that we're putting in. If you've been with me for this session, we've now been going for about an hour, I think. What's the timer saying? Has it been an hour yet? Yeah, an hour and 6 minutes. So, yeah, take a quick moment. And then once you have done that appreciation, just give yourself a little pat on the back. Give yourself a little pat on the back. And yeah, it's, yeah, nothing more to say. Nothing more to say. I'm going to be doing a little bit more kind of mindset advice and advice on managing stress and anxiety and this kind of thing right before the exams, because it's super important. It's actually just as important as knowing the maths, because if you panic on the day, then, you know, it makes things difficult. But we're going to save more of that stuff for a bit later. I'm going to teach you guys some breathing exercises, some different stress management techniques for performing at your best. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. The final thing that I will mention, just before we call it a day, is I've been getting a few questions about the thing that it says. It says 4 live lessons a week now on mygcsemaths.com. Sign up today using the code MGMLaunch for 25% off. So basically, I'm experimenting with running a few, you know, far smaller group classes. Normally on the TikTok and YouTube, there's about 300 of us. So I'm just going to put it on the screen, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So you can see it's a super simple website. It's mygcsemaths.com. Basically, it's £20 a month. With the discount code, it's going to bring it down to £15. And basically, you get access to an exclusive revision community where you can ask me questions, ask each other questions. And then also 4 live lessons each week. So it's extra live streams. I'm estimating there's going to be between 5 and 10 students in the class, but you know, it's not confirmed yet. And the first lesson is actually tomorrow. It's actually tomorrow. So if you are interested, you can shoot me a DM, ask any questions. I'll log in and just show you guys what it looks like. So you literally just log in here. You put some details in. Hopefully you don't have my fingerprint. And then you can see down here, basically May and June are highlighted because that's the relevant months at the moment. This is where you would access the community. And then you click on May, and then you can just see all the lessons scheduled here. So we have, for example, lessons tomorrow, 5 till 6, 6:30 till 7:30. So if you are interested, guys, feel free to sign up, shoot me a message. Any questions, let me know. I've kept it as cheap as possible. I had to cancel a lot of stuff and whatever to make it work. So I've managed to get it down to £20, which is less than £1 a lesson. It works out with the discount code. So if you are interested, awesome. That discount code is going to work for 48 hours. So yeah, any questions, you can shoot me a message. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be for everybody, but if you are interested in kind of a bit smaller classes to make more progress, it's going to be way more personal as well. Then we can do that. Just because naturally when there's a huge community of us, like a few hundred people watching, it's hard to go into, you know, each individual question or whatever. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Any questions? Let's have a look. Hassan has said, when would be the next live on YouTube? So yeah, the plan is yet to be confirmed for the next social media lives, but probably it's going to be Tuesday. Probably it's going to be Tuesday, but I need to confirm that. MFZ said, can you please say fish and chips? Yes, sir. Fish and chips in it. Is this going to be some kind of meme or something that I don't know about? But yeah, fish and chips in it. Oh God, yeah, Tuesday. Bright. Oh guys, is this some kind of meme? It's Tuesday, isn't it? Okay, hopefully I've not just incriminated myself. RP said, can you say happy birthday, please? Whose birthday is it? Actually, let's get a happy birthday in the chat, because actually, you know, it's pretty much guaranteed. You know, the maths on this is quite funny actually, but there's 110 of us in the chat at the moment, so it's somebody's birthday. It's at least a few of people's birthdays actually. So, guys, let's get a quick happy birthday in the chat. Bottle of water. Oh, I don't like this. This is potentially dodgy, but bottle of water. I don't see what can be wrong with that. V45 says it's my birthday. Guys, please don't spam the chat with these meme things. Okay, A, please don't spam the chat. Please don't spam the chat. Okay, somebody's trying to spread some bad energy in the chat. Guys, let's get a round of applause. No, okay, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. Rick and Morty says it's my birthday. Actually, guys, let's do a quick experiment. Guys. Just the final thing of the day. I'm just curious about this, genuinely. I'm going to end it in a couple of minutes, but so supposedly, if you have a group of people, especially 130 people, and you know, you ask if it's at least somebody's birthday, it should be quite a few people's birthdays. So what I'm gonna say is, guys, let's not put anything in the chat for a moment, and if it's anybody's birthday, drop it in the chat. If it's anybody's birthday, drop it in the chat. Monkey Eyes says it's my birthday. Anybody else's birthday? Zach says it's my birthday. Tick says my birthday was yesterday. Oh, this is quite cool, actually. Risen's is tomorrow. Inaya's birthday is tomorrow. 12 Yas's birthday yesterday. Ahmed's birthday in 2 days. Okay, this is cool, low-key. Backup's birthday's on Saturday. Okay, very cool. Quite a few people asking my birthday. I'm not going to share that information. Please don't spam the chat, Paulvin. We're not going to do predicted papers. Okay, guys, I'm going to say hasta la vista. We're going to call it a night there. Superb work this evening. If you've been with me for the whole session, brilliant work. If you didn't already, give yourself that pat on the back. It's super important. A couple of people asking when I'm next live. So the next live is going to be tomorrow on the Live Academy. I'm going to be live 5 till 6 for foundation, 6:30 till 7:30 for higher. Same on Sunday. But in terms of the social media ones, probably on Tuesday. But I'm going to make an announcement. Okay. Guys, superb job. This evening, AA says on YouTube. Yeah, for the Tuesday one on YouTube. on YouTube and TikTok. Okay, cool. Guys, hasta la vista. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Thank you for this evening. Vali says good night. Good night, Valili. Hope things are well with you, by the way. Congratulations for everything. Minx Badger says hasta la vista. Yorkshire Dad, adios, my friend. Thank you very much. Mayo says hasta la vista. Ciao, merci. I don't know how you actually say you're welcome in French. Okay, people are starting to know the lingo. Okay, guys, great work tonight. I'm going to say adios. Any questions, shoot me a DM or reach out in the community. Until next time, I'm going to say adios. Look out for the announcement for the next lives. Guys, good work, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.